Hello, it is Tuesday, September 21st, 2021. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to my New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Tuesday puzzle. Should be maybe slightly trickier than yesterday's Monday, but not too bad. I'm in a bit of a transitory phase at the moment, having just traveled and going through the whole testing regime and everything, so I'm in a temporary accommodation. Once again, hopefully I'll be able to get this out tomorrow on Wednesday. But if not, certainly be back the day after that. I'll do my best. And there appears to be what sounds like a man singing opera outside the window on the street. I don't know if that's coming through the mic. He was just singing O Sole Mio, which Brits will recognize as the music that was adapted for the Just One Cornetto adverts of yore. Don't know if that'll be coming through, but nothing I can do about it. So let's get going with the clues from yesterday's puzzle. There were a few interesting observations. We have Kathy Swope pointing out that Lakers is hard to infer as the name for a Los Angeles team, the LA Lakers, because the name traveled with the team when they moved from Minneapolis, the city of lakes, in 1960. Very interesting. I had no idea. Obviously, I'm aware of the Lakers, but did not know that bit. Ian Smith says, not sure I agree with cluing ANO as a year in Spain. In Spanish, año means year, whereas ANO, without the the enya character, the N with the little tilde over it, means anus, apparently, without that character. So those are different letters entirely, and Taco-san agrees. So yes, this comes up often. I don't necessarily hold it against the New York Times. This is true with punctuation, like apostrophes are generally not reflected in the puzzle unless there's some sort of special theme gimmick. Accents are not reflected, whether in foreign languages or even loanwords in English. So I absolutely understand the complaint, but I think it just comes with the territory of crosswords. You'd be locking out. You'd be locking out quite a bit of material if you didn't allow unaccented letters in the grid. But I absolutely understand the frustration, certainly. And then here's a very interesting one. This was dealing with yesterday's theme, which was much more involved than I apparently realized. Halcyon says, the theme is more clever than you noticed. The three big answers go from the top to the bottom: crust, mantle, core. And those appeared in three answers in the grid, which is the correct geological order. Thomas Burton replies to say, it's actually even more clever than that, because there's magma down the core, which creates ashes as it explodes from the mantle, finally turning to rocks above the crust. Really impressive theme. And those all, of course, were answers or parts of answers in yesterday's grid. So very well done, that theme on a Monday. Quite ambitious for a Monday theme, and I missed quite a bit of it. So an extensive geological theme. All right, let's get on to Tuesday's puzzle. This is a crossword constructed by Daniel Okulich and edited, as always, of course, by Will Shorts. So let's get going. Ready to get started? Okay. A founding member of the Avengers. Now, I assume this is the Avengers, the Marvel film series, and not the Avengers, the 60s television show, in which case the answer to this might be Peel. Not sure what the Marvel version would be. And I'm going to include my typical explanatory disclaimer here on my remote setup, which is that often my screen does not update when I use the mouse or keyboard, even though those inputs are in fact reflected on the video. So sometimes if it seems like I'm struggling or clicking several times or failing to put something in, that's the reason why. I apologize. And now that I've said that, I will try not to complain for the rest of the video. So primary could be main, but I feel as though it could be other things, so I'm going to check some crosses. Here we have blank Taylor, longtime name in women's fashion. Don't know. A chamber could be an area or a room. So, I mean, it could be something else. So I'm not sure. Unhinged in slang. Follower of pinch or switch. I don't know. I don't think main is correct. Let's keep going for now. Like many high-end watches. Well, they could be Swiss. Many high-end watches are manufactured in Switzerland. Blank pitch. Could it be slow pitch? I don't know what that is, but that seems like... I don't know. For some reason, that seems like that might be it. British pop singer Lewis. I don't know. Ancient Greek region on the Aegean. Could it be Ionia? A mocking smile could be a sneer. Biblical verb with thou, thou shalt, for instance, or thou shalt not. So what is this? I must have something wrong. British pop singer Lewis. Could sneer be wrong? Boy, that guy is loud out there. I have no idea if it's coming through on the mic, but I can hear him quite clearly. No-win situations. Maybe shout is wrong. I bet it is. Oh, no-win situations are ties. Nobody wins in a tie. So, biblical verb with thou. Thou seest, perhaps? Subject of a famous 1937 disappearance. Ah, Amelia Earhart, I suspect. Here we have advocate for U2's frontman with a question mark. So this is going to be some sort of long, clever bit of wordplay, I suspect, and probably involves Bono, the name of U2's frontman. Maybe pro bono, because it's advocate, so I wonder if it's advocate legally, and you do pro bono work. Is pro bono is when legal work is conducted for free, usually for some sort of, on the basis of some principle. Excuse me. But I don't see how that ties into this NE at the end yet. What is this? Tom Yum Goong or Tom Kha Kai cuisine. That would be Thai food. The fact, in quotation marks, that bulls get angry when they see the color red, e.g. Well, based on, this sort of gives it away, don't they? With the fact surrounded by scare quotes, I suspect that must be a myth. So there we go. Learned something today already from the crossword. So a chamber probably is a room. Unhinged in slang, I'm not sure. Follower of pinch or switch. And then here we have primary. Seaweed wrapped around sushi. Oh, nori. And then unhinged in slang. Could it be cray? Which is a very modern contraction of crazy. So primary could be arch, as in your arch enemy, your primary enemy. And then blank Taylor. Looks like Ann Taylor, doesn't it? It could be Anna Taylor. But that would be surprising on the cross if you had AOA in a row. So I bet it's Ann Taylor. Maybe this won't be, well, this NO could be Bono. Could be Bono or Bono. Could be Bono or pro bono. Let's try it. Let's put an O in there. Neglects to mention could be omits. So that actually works. And then the B here, can't see it yet. Please work screen. Sharp talking to. And then this is shot from a needle. Trying to figure out what this big wordplay is here. So it could start with pro bono. Ah, so I see. So in fact, they combine into one. So in other words, this is pro bono, which alludes to the terminology for free legal work, but in this particular context means in favor of Bono, the U2 frontman. So it could be advocate or advocate. Oh, pro bono attorney. There we go. Okay. That took me maybe a little longer than it should, but I got there. So this is, I see, a lawyer who is in favor of Bono, an advocate for U2's frontman, playing on the idea of an attorney who works for free, a pro bono attorney. There we go. Very clever. So what is this? Brand of caramel candy. Werther's, I think. Werther's Original. I remember seeing ads for those. So biblical verb with thou could be sayest, as in say, to speak. Does that mean British pop singer Lewis is Leona Lewis? I hope so. I'm so out of touch with what's going on. I'm sure everyone watching these videos is quite clear. I'm out of touch with, I don't even know if maybe this isn't a present day person. Who knows? Anyway, selects as for a position. Opts, no, sorry, that's not correct. Selects as for a position. Taps. Right, you could sort of tap someone to fulfill a position, is how that might be used. Oh, and then to bring on for a position, a nice little echo here, is to hire somebody. Musk, e.g., could be Elon Musk, I suspect. A founding member of the Avengers. Oh. No, not Elon Musk. Very clever. So this is Thor, the Marvel character, the sort of borrowed character from myth. And then a musk is an odor, not Elon Musk, but the smell. And a shot from a needle is a serum, of course. There we go. And then what have we looked at 14 across yet? Nurse's blank, nurse's aid. A sharp talking to is a rebuke. Next of blank, next of kin, another legal phrase in a way. So that's a nice little addition to pro bono attorney. Author and activist Chomsky is Noam Chomsky. Oops. Deadly African snake could be a mamba, I believe. And a global shoe retailer. I'm not sure. To blackball could be to ban somebody. That comes from, I think maybe British gentlemen's clubs, which were a big phenomenon, I think starting in the 18th century in London, and members would have to agree on admitting a new member, and they would put a ball into a bin or a hat or something, and if one of the members wanted to discreetly prevent this applicant, he would place his black ball in, and then no one would know who had put it in necessarily, but the black ball would mean, well, someone disagrees, we're not going to admit this person to our very fancy club, and that's where we get the phrase blackball. I'm pretty sure that's correct. Excuse me, I'm quite congested, as you can probably hear. Okay, presto or allegro. Those are both tempos in music. The man outside is singing in a tempo that I would think is maybe an adagio or so. Maybe an allegro. Anyway, those are speeds at which music is played, and like many musical terms, they derive from Italian. Okay, wine often served with 15 across. Wine often served with nori might be sake, rice wine. And a reggae relative would be ska. The swing of a bowler's arm. Well, here we have strike in bowling, for instance, when you knock down all the pins. So the swing of a bowler's arm. I'm not seeing it yet. I'm sorry. Here we have classic Hollywood studio, RKO, radio and film studio of old. Accompaniment for many a hymn. Boy, this is on the tip of my tongue. Why am I not seeing what this is? Let's keep going. Fish often consumed meunière. This is a preparation. I think salmon is the classic meunière. But maybe sole as well. So actually that would fit. There we go. Sorry. Lawyer for a defendant, typically. Lawyer for a defendant, typically. Not seeing that. I'm sorry. Gel ingredient. Could it be alar? Is that something? Buried. Okay, this is clear. Sol, I don't think is right, because when you see a berry in a crossword, almost always, as we know, it is the acai berry, and I believe it is touted as a superfood. So what is this? What is fish often served manière? What fish starts with SC? Is there a different superfood berry somehow? An average fellow? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Goji berry? Is that a thing? That sounds familiar to me. So maybe this is Seoul. And then what was this again? Average fellow. You could be an average Joe. Oh, a lawyer for a defendant, typically. Is that a peer? Oh, accompaniment for many of him is an organ, of course. Of course. So then what is this? A gel ingredient could be aloe. The other... So in the absence of acai, miraculously, we have the other favored plant of the crossword, which is aloe, often used in balms and things. Oh, I see. A lawyer for a defendant typically is a need. Typically, a defendant will need a lawyer. I see. Unless they are representing themselves, which is quite rare. So that's why this is typically the need. So, a little tied up at the moment. It'll be another bit of wordplay. A cloud of melancholy could be a pall. A pall has fallen over you and you are despondent. Enticed, maybe led on or something? Another bit of crosswordese. Emerson's blank to beauty would be Emerson's ode to beauty. We love acai berries, we love aloe, and we love odes here in the New York Times crossword. That's for sure. A little tied up in the moment. Oh my goodness, I cannot see what is on screen. Please, just clicking anywhere. Okay, there we go. I'm back. Let's move back up to the acrosses. Blood typing system. ABO, I believe, is the blood typing system, right? Type A, type B, type O. Gyro holder, I think in this case, would be pita bread. Pita, as it's pronounced in the UK. Rand McNally's business, those were maps. Rand McNally was a map publisher, or still is, perhaps. Final words could be an obit, an obituary. Words written for someone who has recently passed away. And so then what was this across again? Let's see. Swing of a bowler's arm. Move to strike. I see. Yes. So this is another legal term, I think, right? Move to strike. That's a motion that an attorney might make in court to sort of remove something. And also, of course, what a bowler attempts to do. They make a move with an attempt to strike. So that means in a November exhortation in the United States, that's when Election Day occurs. So that is a vote. Rudder's location is at the stern of a ship. Neither's partner is nor. Neither or nor. And here we have airplane passengers might battle over them. Armrests, yes. I think that's been the subject of court rulings. Who is, I don't know, legally entitled to the armrest in a middle seat or something like that. A little tied up at the moment. Right. Oh, right. So what was this? Oh, motion denied. Yes, because we're in this legal framework that sort of put this in my mind. So how does this work? A little tied up at the moment. Yes, of course. Your motion is denied because you're literally tied up. Very clever. And motion denied. So one attorney might say a move to strike, and maybe the judge would say motion denied. Not sure if that's how it works, but perhaps. Heavy weight for a musician to bear. Heavy weight for a musician to bear. A tuba, maybe? A tuba, very large instrument, very heavy. How many people get around town? In cars, maybe? What is this? Defeat via invasion. It could be to overrun. Philosopher with a razor, that's Occam. Occam's razor. Occam's razor states that the simplest solution or the simplest explanation is generally the answer. So if things can be explained with an incredibly tortured conspiracy theory, or if they can be explained with something much more mundane, it's probably the more mundane thing most of the time. I don't know if I'm 100% precisely stating Occam's razor, but it's along those lines. To really care about is to value something. A professional soccer player with the most goals for a single club, Barcelona. Messi. Didn't Messi come up the other day? I mean, I wouldn't have known the stat, certainly, but didn't Messi come up the other day, I think? Some wedding guests might be aunts. That seems plausible. Oops. Some federal assistance. Not sure. Excuse me. Give up arguing is to cave. One-time Supreme Court Justice Charles Blank Hughes. Evans, perhaps. It looks like it fits. And attire for gym period. This be class action something? Oh, class action suit. Yes, very clever. I'm trying to figure out how this precisely fits the clue. So attire for gym period. So your action, your action for activity, I suppose. You're being active in gym period. It's gym class, so that's where class is. And it's suit, it's your clothing, so it's your class action suit. That's pretty good. So how many people get around town? Maybe it's not in cars, but in a car, perhaps? Or in a cab, maybe? Yes, in a cab, because a Jewish rite is a bris. I don't see the clue. Where's the clue? Rival of Alexa is Siri. The sun for one is a star. The Organization for Seniors is the AARP, the American Association of Retired People. I think the clue might be scrolled too far down. Let's see. There it is. Covert blank. Yes, covert ops. And I'll scroll back up. Here we have successor to Brown as California governor. That's Gavin Newsom, who recently managed to defeat an attempted recall. Second of those that's happened in California in the last couple decades. Well, it didn't happen this time. Currency launched on January 1st, 1999. The euro. City on the French Riviera. Not sure right offhand. Immediately could be stat. Means quickly, do it now. Stat. Olympic great Jesse. That would be Jesse Owens. I do recognize that name at least. The city on the French Riviera is probably Nice, I suspect. And I'll have to scroll down again to see what this clue is. Blank et chandon. That's Moet et chandon. Looks like in French it should be pronounced Moe, but in fact is Moet, due to the name of its founder, who was, I don't know, maybe German? I'm not sure. But I do believe it is not pronounced Moe. And there we go. That is the Tuesday puzzle, the New York Times Tuesday puzzle. Some very nice wordplay there. Pro bono attorney, move to strike, motion denied, and class action suit. And a bit of other legal bits throughout, if I recall correctly. So, yes, well-constructed, fun puzzle. I enjoyed it. Not too tricky. A bit of challenge here and there, and some very nice wordplay. So let me know how you fared with that one, constructed by Daniel Okulich. I liked it. Oh, and you know what's so funny, actually? What a bizarre coincidence. I looked up this person, Daniel Okulich, on a whim before starting the crossword. I didn't even think of this till just now. I think he's an opera singer. Let me just search his name on my phone and see if that's correct. And the entire time I've been solving this puzzle, there's been someone singing opera outside my window. Yes, indeed. Daniel Okulich is a Canadian bass baritone. That's so funny. Yeah, okay. Well, there we go. This was this person's first crossword, his debut crossword for the Times. He apparently, I don't know why I searched for this person today. I don't always do that, but yeah, anyway, go figure. Funny coincidence. So, I hope you enjoyed this puzzle. Please subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this video, and if you enjoy the series in general, or if this is your first video, subscribe and then maybe you will enjoy the series in general going forward. I won't belabor this because I've been mentioning it every day and it's still not up, but I am finishing off that Patreon. Hopefully it'll be live in the next few days. You'll see it then. That's all I'll say for now. And if you know someone who might enjoy this series, please consider passing it along to them, either individually to someone you know or to someone on your social networks, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. We do have a Facebook page. It's not very widely known, I think, at this point, but it is there if you search for The Daily Solve on Facebook, and anywhere else you think might find a willing eye or ear. So with that, I do hope you have an excellent remainder of your Tuesday. I hope to see you tomorrow for the Wednesday puzzle. I'll do my best to get that published, and I hope it's there. If not, there will be something else on the channel for you. Either way, I hope you have an excellent rest of your day. Take care.